Welcome to the channel. In the previous tutorial, we talked about recursion error. That is when maximum recursion depth exceeds, we'll get that error. The maximum recursion depth is a safety limit set by programming environments to prevent infinite recursion from consuming all available stack memory and crashing the system. But what is recursion depth? So today's topic is recursion depth. Here, recursion depth measures the maximum number of active stack frames on the call stack at any one time, not the total number of function calls executed throughout the program's life cycle. Okay, here we have our factorial program example. So if I take factorial of 4, this is the initial call. To solve this problem, this function calls itself. So factorial 3, another function call. Then that function calls factorial of 2. Here you can see the number of frames in the stack now. Then factorial 2 calls factorial 1. Then factorial 1 returns the value. Before reaching the base case, the number of stack frame here is 4. That is actually the n value here. Then here base case is satisfied. It will return the value. So factorial of 1 is removed from the stack. Now number of stack frame is 3. Then factorial of 2, it will return the value. So it is removed from the stack. Next factorial of 3, it is removed from the stack. Next factorial of 4, after finishing the execution, it is removed from the stack. If you count the number of frames, at one time the number of stack frame in the call stack was 4. That was the maximum number of stack frames in this example. So here that is the recursion depth. Recursion depth is not the total number of function calls made during a function's lifetime. Rather, it is the maximum number of stack frames present on the call stack at any single point in time. Our target is the peak height of the stack throughout the entire process. That is our recursion depth. Here in this example, when n value is 4, the maximum number of frames at a time was 4. So for input n, recursion depth is n. Another example, that is Fibonacci series. If I take Fibonacci of 3, so initial call, so stack frame is added to call stack. Then Fibonacci of 2, then it will execute Fibonacci of 1. After that, it will return the result to Fib2. It will call Fib0. After completing Fibonacci of 0, it will return here. Then it will perform its operation and it will return here. To complete, first it need to find Fibonacci of 1. So it will call that. Then after completing the execution of this function, it will return. Now this function finishes its execution. Then it will remove from the stack. The maximum number of active frames at a time is 3. And for n input, that is n. Here recursion depth is n. Okay, so this is about recursion depth. So that's it for now guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll meet you in next class. Till then, take care.